How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen, and welcome to the Destined Rivals era. This set has so many fun cards to play with that I'm really hyped to try, but the first one I saw that really interested me was Team Rocket's Crobat. With the ability Biting Spree, it lets you drop 2 damage counters on 2 Pokemon when you evolve it from hand, which is just like its Stage 1 Golbat, which does that to 1 Pokemon. Then for 2 Dark Energy, Assassin's Return does 120 damage and can pull itself back to your hand if you want it to. So we have combined it with Team Rocket's Tyranitar, which, when in the active, does 20 more damage to all basic Pokemon. So naturally this thing has a pretty decent matchup into big basic decks like Raging Bolt. But we also have answers for decks that do need to evolve. For those we have Team Rocket's Ampharos, which punishes your opponent for evolving by placing 4 damage counters every time they do. So for example, in the Dragapult matchup, if you can get this going before they can start evolving, the Dragapult will have 80 damage on it from the get-go, leaving it at 240 HP, making for a 2-shot from Crobat, which ordinarily does struggle to hit big numbers due to his very low 120 damage attack. So, since I showed you 3 different Stage 2 Pokemon, you would think that means Grand Tree would be a shoo-in in here. But it's not. The reason why is that if we were to use this on our Golbats and Crobats, it doesn't trigger their abilities, as it has to be done from hand, not from deck. The only reason why I would consider it would be for those backup supporters like Flaffy or Pupitar, but even then, if our opponent were to use Grand Tree to evolve themselves, they also wouldn't take damage from Ampharos. So maybe there is a world where you would use it for matchups where you can evolve but they can't, but I chose not to for this build. Here's a deck list. And a special shout out to Bluestone TCG, a fellow content creator and my teammate on the Drop Pass TCG team, who you'll see later in this video. I tested a version of this deck against him and he gave a lot of really good feedback and made it what it is now. So I have to give him some co-author credit on this one. If you can thank him for me by tossing him a sub and telling him the chef sent you, I would appreciate that a lot. He's a great dude and you'll see later in this video why it's so important to have people you can test decks with, because the AI in this game is not it. So for starters, it'll be a 3-3-3 line of our main feature Crobat, and then a 2-1-2 of Tyranitar and a 2-0-2 of Ampharos. And the reason why we don't play the Flaffy is because if we can't get the Ampharos on turn 2, it's pretty much useless to us. In some matchups we won't be needing Tyranitar if we can't get it there fast enough, and in some matchups we won't need the Ampharos. So it's okay if we prize some of the stuff in these lines. But the nice thing about both of these is that if you hit a Devo play pretty early on a Stage 1 Pokemon, that Tyranitar will hurt the thing that is now a basic, and Ampharos will apply 40 more damage if they re-evolve it. And we do play 2 Devos in here, so there is a world where you do knock out stuff using the strategy. We are keeping it pure Rocket's Pokemon, and I will explain why when we get to trainers. But that means that the rest of our Pokemon count is filled by Team Rocket's Articuno, which will protect our basics from Dragapult, which is important in here, because our Zubats have 50 HP, our Mareeps have 60, and we run Chingling, who has 30. Yes, Team Rocket's Chingling is our baby of choice for this matchup, as it does have the Team Rocket's tag on it, and it is a free retreater just in case we can't get a rescue board out. It has Chiming Commotion, which discards a random card from your opponent's hand, which can be hilariously disruptive as you'll see in our matches. Budu says player items because you won't be able to later. Chingling says player cards now because you might lose them if you don't. And finally, we have Team Rocket's Sneasel as our last Pokemon, which can take advantage of a lot of our shenanigans here. It hits for 20 damage for each damage counter on a Pokemon on the bench, meaning that you only need to get anything down by a third of its health and Sneasel just finishes it. Remember that this won't work on Terra Pokemon and there is no weakness on the bench. But it is really nice for those matchups where 120 damage just won't cut it, and it is really useful to spread that damage in a way that Sneasel can just finish the job later. But the supporters is where the magic lies. First off, Team Rocket's Ariana, which says that you can draw to 5 cards anytime, but if all your Pokemon in play are Rocket's Pokemon, you draw to 8 instead. This card is awesome, we play 3 of them. We also play 2 Rocket's Proton, which can be used going first, and pulls 3 basic Team Rocket's Pokemon, which is great because we have 3 different things we need to have evolved, so having that on turn 1 is really good. Team Rocket's Giovanni is essentially a prime catcher as long as you're able to switch to Team Rocket's Pokemon. That's why I like having Chingling in the background. We can always Giovanni into it, and retreat out into what we actually want, and be swinging on anything we feel like, or stalling while Tyranitar gets damage on the board. And we also run Team Rocket's Archer, which can only be used if a Team Rocket's Pokemon was knocked out last turn, but if it was, both players shuffle their hands into their decks, and you draw 5, and they draw 3. So it's almost like an unfair stand. Team Rocket supporters are pretty cracked if you can keep the deck as Team Rocket as possible. And then finally we run a single Colress, as sometimes I have found myself to be really down bad for energy. We only play 5. Moving on to items, we have 2 Buddy-Buddy Poffins and 3 Ultra Ball for Pokemon Search, 1 Super Rod and 1 Night Stretcher for recovery, 1 Switch just in case we get retreat locked or have something we don't want trapped up in there, and we run 4 Rocket Transceivers, which can pull any Rocket supporters we need. The reason why we have 4 is so that we can hopefully pull a Team Rocket's Proton on turn 1 going first. And for even more draw support, we have Team Rocket's Factory, which allows you to draw 2 more cards if you play a Team Rocket supporter this turn, meaning 1 good Ariana play can let you see up to 10 new cards. This stadium is kinda key in here. I do love me some Watchtower, but this helps a lot for this build. Now for tools, we run 2 TM Devo and 2 Air Balloons so that we can get Tyranitar back out if we need to swing with Crobat. Then finally, we run 4 Rocket's Energy and a Neo Upper as our ace spec, equaling 5 energy cards, which will all go to our Crobat or Sneasel, because when you decide you want to put it back in your hand, you will lose that energy, so be very careful when you choose to do that. But there you go. Some tips before going to the ladder is that I think that Ampharos is only good if you can get it rolling really early, as you should be careful playing it against Munkidori decks, because essentially you could be giving them 40 damage that they can pass right back to you. I think this deck works pretty well against the Guardy matchup, since we do hit for weakness, but you do need to target down those Munkidoris, otherwise it could escalate pretty badly. I would definitely call this a very high skilled deck. There are a lot of decisions you have to make every turn, and 20 damage here, 20 damage there, it can be very complicated to be thinking about when we're dealing with 300 HP plus Pokemon. But it is a lot of fun. It draws really nicely and punishes big basic decks really easily. So let's just go ahead and get into game 1 against my buddy Bluestone TCG. Alrighty, what up? We are doing game 1 against a friend. Bluestone TCG, how you doing, my guy?
I'm doing all right. I'm happy to have you on my on your channel here.
Shit. Appreciate you testing this with me today. Actually, a whole lot of this I could credit to you because I had been testing against AIs, and you sent me a random request, and it's been good so far. I feel like all the changes that you suggested have been pretty solid.
Yeah, just having a team to be able to put things together with can be a huge difference. So I'm happy to help anytime.
Yeah, that's always huge. That's definitely what I want to showcase more on this channel is just how important it is just to have people you can test with. Alright. So this deck definitely likes to go first, so that's why I chose that. We did open Proton, so we're going to go ahead and just slap one of them on. We're going to go ahead and do Buddy-Buddy first. Like me some Chingling action, like me some Zubat. We'll do that. Blood came in with an Ethan's Typhlosion, so we're gonna definitely want to get one of these rolling pretty quickly. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, and that's good for now. Go ahead and end turn there.
All right, well, I'm glad you had a strong turn because I'm going to be following that up with a pretty strong one myself. I got a nice comfortable hand here.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, let's see it. Let's see it. Got himself the Evo turn 1.
Is it letting me select that Cyndaquil? I don't know. I guess I'll find out in a second.
Alright, so I'm muted,
Nope.
so Bluestone can't hear me right now. But
That's fine.
in this kind of scenario,
anyway.
the Mareep wouldn't help because it is promoting itself from the deck and not the hand. So I think definitely what we want to do here is go Ariana. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and rare candy the one that's got energy on it. Biting Spree, let's do it. Let's do this one and that one. Actually, that was probably not the way to go because I'm about to kill it anyway. So let's just put that there. And then let's Ariana. Got us a Golbat.
Damage is piling in now.
We actually don't get the switch or a way to move, so we just end turn. Kind of a bad whiff. I don't know if you peeped, but he did miss one evolution on the Cyndaquil, so he only has the one Quilava. Oh, he managed to pull one. I was wrong. Yep, I was definitely wrong. I was quite wrong, actually. Okay, So he is able to get his Typhlosion into the active. He's going to do a Buddy Blast for a pretty good amount, which will get my Articuno out of the active. I was definitely banking on that Chingling being able to be moved to the active on turn 2. But now that I can't do that, I don't know. I kind of don't want it there anymore. I think I may want to Archer here if he does knock out my Articuno. Okay, he does not KO the Articuno. He knows that we're kind of in a bad spot there. But, perfect top deck.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is, yeah. Alright, so I think what I want to do is Colress. If I can get me one of my Rocket Energies and the Factory. Not playing the Factory this turn just because we can't do anything with it. But I will go ahead and Assassin's Return, and we are not going to pull it back into our hand. We're just going to leave it there for now. We take first blood. But let's see how hard Ethan's Typhlosion can hit back. He has...
Well, gotta say, it's gonna be pretty hard.
Oh, without the max belt. Yep, that's gonna hurt.
Alright, let's go here. Get another Ethan's Adventure. No. I think we do go with that. As for that. I see a lot of relatively low HP basics on that bench. They have to get the Dragapult online. We'll just have to see.
You don't have to do that.
And we can go ahead and get the knockout, but more importantly against this deck is get that energy off the board.
True. That doesn't matter. This deck plays very low energy counts. Alright. Here's what we do. Alright, let's get the next one started. I think I want to rod back both of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna Archer all that away.
Okay. Pretty solid Archer.
Yes, sir. Alright. Go Biting Spree. Start hitting a couple of things here for a little bit of damage. There you go. Team Rocket's Factory gets us the rare candy, so we have a way of hurting you if you decide to do anything with that. Probably should have gone for more damage on this Typhlosion. That probably would have been a play. Because now you're about to knock out my Crobat. You know what? Here, let me protect myself a little bit there. It's definitely a misplay on my part.
Alright, that has got to be probably the hardest thing about your deck, is that it only hits for 120, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely could have done a little bit more there. It probably still wouldn't have knocked you, because I think I only had the one evolve. But stacking a little bit more damage on that Typhlosion probably would have been the way to go. But it's okay, we're still learning this. Important for the audience to know, misplays do happen.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
I do very much like that Crobat can kind of protect you from your own misplays.
Yeah. Puts itself back.
Yeah, it's like, actually, yeah, let's not do that. All right, cool. All right, promote the Articuno. All right, we got us an Artisan. Get another Zubat. We have 6 things in hand right now. Why not?
More cards is more cards.
More cards is more cards. Okay, that would have been great to have a little while ago.
That's definitely more cards.
It is certainly more cards. However, yikes.
That's rough.
This is rough. 10 card hand, nothing I can do with it.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. That's sneaky.
It is a little bit sneaky. That's actually everything about this deck is just kind of sneaky.
The slow accumulation of damage kind of sneaks up on you, and
yeah, Crobat, if it gets low HP, just run it right back.
Yeah.
It's actually the first time in testing I've been able to get the Ampharos up pretty early for it to even matter.
Yeah, I want to evolve this Cyndaquil because it's just kind of like sitting there as a free prize, but evolving it's not gonna, like, it would be a net loss of HP.
Yeah.
Only 10, but still a net loss.
Alrighty, we got the KO, so we can do something here. Alright, so first thing we want to do, obviously, do a little biting spree. One to the active. Let's do one to the next one.
Right. You're down 2 energy, you got a 10 card hand. Pretty confident you're going to be able to take this knockout. And what, 280, 290? So I don't think that ever actually helps me at this point. No math is fixed.
Okay, so let's do this.
The illusion of choice. Oh my.
Start dropping some stuff. There, I just wanted to burn through all that. Are you kidding me?
With the energy again?
With the energy again.
Oh my goodness. Bring back Energy Lotto with all this special energy.
Maybe. That might be the way to go. I don't know if I have anything in here I can use. Where are my Pupitars, my candies? Where's all my stuff? Alright, well, at least I can survive a turn in here.
That is in the deck. We'll see if you can survive a turn. It all depends on what I find with these Oh, you definitely can, because I have a 2 retreat cost. What am I talking about?
You play Black Belt in here?
No, but I play Dragapult.
Oh snap. I kind of love that.
It's so annoying.
That actually helps.
Dang. Oh yeah, I suppose you're digging for the...
At least it would help if I could pull energy.
And we'll just punch.
Buddy Blast, 290. All
Black
right.
belts would be a good inclusion for Typhlosion.
I think so.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. Yeah, let me just here, you want to have this? There you go, buddy.
Well, I think that about wraps it up then.
He doesn't know about what Articuno does. Oh, actually, no, he does.
Oh my goodness.
It prevents basic. No, actually, it would kill the Crobat.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's just basics. Okay.
Yeah, it only protects basics.
That was almost almost not great. I would have felt so stupid if that didn't work because I have boss in hand.
GG.
GG's.
They just take an L. But I think it kind of works. I think if I was able to pull my energy more consistently, I would have probably been able to do something there. But
yeah, for sure. The energy is what really ended up hurting you in the end, is not being able to get your hands on it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I also had a great game. I had turn 1 TM Evo. I had all my Ethans in the discard really, really quick. It was a wonderful game for me, and the energy was just not loving you.
Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate you helping me out with that. You know, you helped me build a deck, you helped me test it, and you're even here for game 1. So that's cool, man. That's cool, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to give a helping hand, and yeah, just be there when you need me.
Shout out Bluestone TCG. Go sub to his channel.
Appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button here if you haven't done so yet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Bluestone.
Yep.
Alrighty, y'all. Welcome to game 1. I'm bringing the Team Rocket's Crobat EX deck into the ladder. Game 1 against Bluestone didn't go so great. We struggled to find our energies, which was kind of rough. But let's hope that in the latter we do a little bit better. Alright, kind of a bad start. We got a mulligan off the bat. Only one, though. Only one mulligan. That's not bad. And we got a Proton to start with. And an energy. I like that. Okay, so depending on what kind of deck this is, will determine whether or not we actually want... Okay, we do want our Ampharos then, I guess. Let's do that. So let's go ahead and grab Chingling, Larvitar, Mareep. Yep, let's get the whole squad. And Buddy-Buddy, let's get another Zubat. Let's get Larvitar. Let's see what we actually have access to before we do that. Okay. We have our Pupitar. We have both of our Ampharoses. We only have one Tyranitar, though. So instead, I'm going to go for another Zubat. Okay, let's do that. That looks good to me. Okay. So we've got Golbat. We have a Tyranitar that we can promote next turn. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So we got Itchy Pollen. That kind of sucks. Alright, so let's go ahead and... I think we do want to promote one of our guys. I think probably... Yeah, let's just go with this one. If he can get a Darmanitan up in the near future, that could be a problem. But I'm not going to worry about that yet. Let's just go Big Air Balloon here. Let's do Team Rocket's Ariana. We do have a second energy we can slap on. Let's go ahead and get the Rocket's Factory. Can't use any of that, unfortunately. But I think we just go ahead and do this. And we will Poison Spray. Take out that Budu. Don't want to deal with that. Okay. I think we're doing okay so far. Just got a text message from my roommate. That's why I was kind of radio silent there for that turn. So he's going to promote one of the Zoroas. Doesn't matter which one. That one's fine. But we do have a way of getting a Crobat next turn. We have two candies in hand. Alright, he's got his first Monkey Dory down. Does have a dark energy on it too. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is a Giovanni. Try to get that Monkey Dory out of the way. He still has no Darumaka on the bench, so that's actually pretty good for us. If he can't get one, then I think we're big chillin'. Ooh, he goes for the scratch for 20. That's not gonna cut it. Okay, so we do have a Crobat. So let's just start pinging some damage, why not? Alright, let's do it. We'll do that first. We'll do Biting Spree. We don't need to do it to the Monkey Dory because we're about to take it out. So instead, I'm just going to start pinging these guys. Let's do the Tyranitar. We can get rid of the Poffin. We can get rid of the I'm going to want all of this eventually. I think I'm going to drop the Archer. That's probably the least important thing that I have on me right now. I do have a second candy, don't I? I do. Alright, so let's just go for the Ampharos. Alright, we've got that. Do this. Oh, sorry. Chingling. Get you in front. Rocket's Factory. We'll retreat. Bring up the Crobat. Do 240 damage. Knock out the monkey. We are not going to pull this back into our hand. We don't need to yet. Take a prize card. We have another Crobat. We have all three of our Crobats in hand. Not the ideal time to have them, but we got them. Alright, he's going to go ahead and flip the script. Hyper Aroma gets you a bunch of your stuff, and it brings it to the hand too, which is nice. So he'll get 40 damage on his active, and 40 damage on his benched one, which leaves us pretty nicely shaped for a KO coming up here. We don't need a whole lot. We can just get probably a Golbat, and if we can candy into a Crobat, we should be pretty well off. We'll see what the Ariana can pull us. He does grab himself a new Monkey Dory. Another Nest Ball. Got the Reshiram. Okay, so he can start hitting now. Assuming he can get himself some energy. Let's see it. Let's see it. He got the PP up. The PP is up. Okay. But does he have an Ends Castle? Yeah, see, that's the problem with Ampharos, is that it just gave him free damage that he can pass on to my Chingling now. He's going to take a prize here if he can Adrena Brain it right. Or he can just send it to the Zubat. That's probably the better play, is just to give it to Zubat. Okay, the Pekron EX. We'll get it into the active. He will get a hit off this turn. He's going to hit pretty good. Let's see. He can do the 170 from the... What's it called? Virtuous Flame. Oh yeah, he's going to hurt. He's going to hurt. Where does he send this? Probably to the Zubat. I would assume it would be to the Zubat. Yep. Okay. But he takes it off of the bench, so that is less he can do from powerful Rage if he decides to do that. So at least he cannot one-shot my Crobat. And the Night Joker hits us for 210. Got it. Alright, so 40 damage on it right now. If I were to hit it now, it would be at 180. I think I bench this. I think I Super Rod. And then I Ariana. Okay. What do we have here? Let's go Crobat. Let's do a Biting Spree. I think I definitely want it on that. If I hit this 60, 180, we'll be at 190 at the end of this turn. It's going to one-shot anything, really. Yeah, I think I do it anyway, though. So let's go ahead and get... If I do the Rocket Energy on the Sneasel, he doesn't have any way of getting Darmanitan anytime soon, so that's fine actually. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do Assassin's Return for 120. We will put it back in our hand, and then promote the T-Tower. And then hit all that for 20. Alright, let's see what he can do. He is getting his next Zoroark ready to go. Alright, he's got a Mochi on that one. What can he do with the Adreno Braid? Probably gonna knock out my Chingling at this point. Let's see it. Let's see it. Where are you sending it? Yep. Okay. Off the bench to the Chingling. And then this guy is probably going to take a knock. He may even Pekka Runt the other one into the active. Which would make a much easier Devo play in the near future here. Yeah, he does do that. Okay. Alright, the Night Joker for 180 knocks me out. And I think we come up with the Sneasel. We don't need a KO this turn. Not super important that we get a KO. We just need to get this guy high enough damage to knock it out. So, could throw on the Neo Upper here. Is there anything super important for me to do right now? Because I could rescue board and hit with the Crobat, but I don't think that that's super necessary at this moment. No, I think we just go for the Strike the Sleeper play, and then Devo next turn. Oh, it has to be a benched. Oh, that would have been good to know. All right, so yeah, in that case, we'll just finish off the. That feels like a waste. It feels like a waste, but I think we just take out the benched guy. Alright, we did get our second Devo. So Iona would be pretty bad right about now. But that's okay. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what he can do. Can I knock out the Monkey Dory if with the Sneasel? Let me see. It would be 40 damage to a benched Pokemon. Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It has to be. Okay. Well, if we evolve the Golbat, Rare Candy the Crobat to the other one, we can do it actually. Yeah, we definitely could. That's if he doesn't knock out our Sneasel. We actually, unless he Ionos, I think we've got game. We will have to see. Alright, he does pull 30 off of that guy. Night Joker does the 170. Okay, we'll promote this guy for now. I'm likely going to rescue board it. Is this one retreat? This is one retreat. Slap that on. Slap that on. If I do 120, I can do 40 this turn. How much energy did I lose? I lost 3. I've got a 4th one in play. A 5th one is in there somewhere. Maybe in prizes. I don't want to take that chance though. But I think what I do want to do is, I think I knock the Reshiram actually. Here, let's start doing some hits on that. Let's Rockets Giovanni the Reshiram up to the front. And we'll rare candy the other Crobat. We can use Biting Spree. Let's get some damage on this guy. Some damage on this guy. Yep. I think I do want to stretch her back to Sneasel. Okay. We're hitting 120. Let's not put it back in our hand. Reshiram's gone. We need one more prize. The nice thing is that since we evolved into that Golbat, that monkey cannot kill us this turn. That does make me a little bit happy. He can do 170 if he manages to bench a new Reshiram. But I think, unless he has a way of putting more damage on, I think we're okay. He does. He gets the Reshiram back. Our easiest route to victory right now is if we can get an energy on this Sneasel. We can take out that Monkey Dory and win it like that. That might be the way to go for now. But we'll see where he decides to take the Monkey Dory damage out of. Because he can also remove it from himself. Which would suck. Did we see what he stretchered? Thought I saw him play a stretcher. But if not the Reshiram, what would he go for? Does he take it off the active? So if he doesn't take it off the active, we could also Devo. He doesn't take it off the active. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think depending on what he does here, we just evolve to Crobat, Devo, we're done. Okay, he did get a Reshiram back. Ends PP up. Okay, he's got his second Zorilla ready to go. Yeah, we have a couple outs to victory. Night Joker. Does he just do the Virtuous Flame? He does. Alright, so we got game. Let me just make sure. We do. Okay. Evo. Pew. GG. Alrighty, welcome to game 3. We just barely won game 2. We easily could have thrown that one, but we did end up having like 2 or 3 different ways we could have won. So that feels pretty nice. We take a mulligan on this one. Don't like that. So that otherwise would have been pretty nice. We could have had the Transceiver, we could have had the candies. But no, hopefully we can get something better than this though. Alright, we got 3. Alright, we got Zubat. And we have a Transceiver and a Factory, so that's actually pretty good. A Cynthia's Garchomp. Actually, that might be a difficult matchup for us. Just because of how much HP that thing has. It's ridiculous, man. Okay. Let's go ahead and Proton. Let's get all of our pieces. We are going to want the Mareep. We are going to want the Larvitar. We are going to want... actually, we may not even need the Larvitar. I'll bring it. I'll bring the Larvitar just in case. Yeah, we'll just get everything. Rocket's Factory. We have a Candy. We have an Ampharos for next turn. We are kind of set up. Assuming they don't Iono us, we'll be alright. Okay. The Evo feels bad because immediately they can just skip right past our Ampharos shenanigans. Okay, so I'm going to start with the candy. Let's get that Ampharos going. Let's go ahead and ditch both of these. I'm going to do the Golbat. Just because I would like to have as few cards in hand when we do our shenanigans here. Yeah, if we can take out this Roselia, that would be wonderful. So let's go ahead and attach this here. And then Ariana up to 8. Alright, we have a Mareep now. We can Ultra Ball for... Okay, let's go ahead and do the Crobat. Biting Spree. We'll do 20. 120. We want to start loading up that Monkey Dory with damage. Would be wonderful. Alright, and then I think I'm gonna Ultra Ball again. Get rid of you. And you. Yeah, we don't need the second Ampharos line. That's not a big deal. We'll go ahead and get this. Get that set up for next turn. We didn't lose anything worth getting back, so we're just gonna go ahead and hit for 120. And then we don't want to put it back in our hand. Okay, Ultra Ball's great. We can work with that. Okay, he's got his first Roselia up. Already got a lot of damage on it. And he does get his first Garchomp rolling already. 40 damage on it already. And he goes into Cleffa. Damage there as well. He can Grasping Draw up to 7. He didn't get any energy so far, so we're actually kind of big chilling right now. I think what I'm gonna do, let's Ultra Ball the Stretcher, the Factory. I don't have a free retreater right now. It feels kind of bad, so I think what I want to do is get my next Crobat. Start smacking him around. We'll use Biting Spree. We're going to go ahead and hit here and here. And then we're going to Giovanni. We're going to put up the other Crobat. We're going to take the Monkey Dory. Rocket's Factory, 2 more cards. We got Tyranitar, let's go. And 240 on the monkey. We don't want to put this back in our hand. We're going to be a little bit patient with that Cleffa. Because if he does put another Monkey Dory down, oh nice, he's already got 40 damage on that one. Cool. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of damage on that bench already. And I don't hit anything on the bench outside of abilities. So we're not too worried about this. Alright, pulls a Dark into his hand, pulls a Fighting onto his active. He's going to be able to hit for 130. Okay. Not bad. Let's go ahead and start with the Buddy-Buddy. We only have the one Zubat to play. That is okay. Alright. Now I think the next thing that I want to do... Could always slap a rescue board on... Let's put it on this. And then I think we do want a Giovanni. What do I want a Giovanni for, though? Probably the other one, right? We'll put up this one. We will... Let's take out the Gabite, actually, because having Gabites is super nice for that deck. Alright, so we will go 120 onto this guy. We don't want to put it in our hand yet. Not until we're in danger. Alright, we're up 3 prizes already. And we have a Transceiver for next turn. So how am I looking for supporters? Let's see, we used up all of our bosses. Alright, he got a Power Weight. He does Iono. We're going to get Iona down to 3. As long as we get 1 supporter, we do have a supporter. Let's go. He's going to hit 290 here. I'm not too worried about Rocket's Watchtower, but he is going to knock out our Crobat. That sucks. Okay. That's alright. We promote this guy. Maybe I should have promoted the Tyranitar. That's okay. Let's go ahead and rare candy up to the big guy. We'll use Biting Spree. I will go ahead and put 20 there, 20 there. And we did pull a Devo. That's kind of nice. Alright, let's Ariana up to 8. I'm not too worried about a whole lot of this. So I think we are okay just to... Yeah, none of this is really usable. We'll do 120. No, don't want to put it back in my hand. Okay, so let's see. This thing's got 100 right now. So that thing will have 170, so I can't Devo it yet, actually. Okay, I'm gonna do a Corkscrew Drive, hits us for 100, pulls himself back up to 6. Can we Buddy-Buddy for anything? No. I'm gonna want that Super Rod. Alright, let's see if we can Rocket's Transceiver. I'm gonna grab Archer. But none of this is particularly useful to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and let us retreat. Can I retreat into this one? Smack for 120. We have the Devo play next turn, assuming we don't get Iono'd. Super Rod gets you what? Okay, gets you some fighting energy. Okay, Illuminous. Adrena Brain. Are you just going to use that for... Yeah, he's just going to use that for stall. But you know what that means. Evo play. For the victory. Boom, boom. GG. Here's my Chingling. I kinda love this deck. It is a ton of fun to play, and it would not be this good without the help of Bluestone TCG. So thanks a bunch for your help. Again, a link to his channel is in the description. Please check him out and wish us both luck as we try to make Worlds next year. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Destined Rivals has so much that I want to try. I'm going to be busy for a while. But if you made it this far into the video, please consider dropping me a sub. But know that your viewership and your feedback is what helps me do this. So once again, thank you so much. And I'll see you next time.